Thanks to Boxu for sponsoring today's video. Hi guys, Hayley here, and welcome to another video. So if you're a figure collector and you have an internet connection, it's been a pretty exciting couple of weeks for you. And of course, that is because Wonder Festival 2022 just happened, as well as another event called Ami Hobby Camp 2022, as well as Mega Hobby Expo 2022. And then we also have Good Smile Company's Smile Fest, which is happening actually the weekend after I'm filming this. So that one won't be included, but basically we've had a ton of new prototypes, painted prototypes, figure announcements. There's so much that I'm excited about, but also my wallet is crying because while I love looking at new figure announcements, they terrify me because I'm like, I'm gonna wanna buy that and that's gonna be like 30,000 yen or something. But no, all in all, it's still like a super exciting and great time. So in today's video, what I want to do is just go through some of the most notable announcements or prototypes for me. So a super biased list, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. There's just way too many to go through like all at once. So I'm just going to try and really speed round, get to the point, move on to the next one so that we can look at as many beautiful figures as we can. First up, we have Aniplex, and first up from them we have the Abigail Williams summer version. I just think this is so cute with all of the adorable animals around it. Didn't expect to like this one as much as I do. We've also got this MASH Konofig. I thought Konofigs were a Pop-Up Parade competitor, but this looks massive and full on. Like, I thought they were supposed to be this size. So, I don't know, it looks really cool though. And then we've got a couple of figure announcements from Aniplex that I'm so excited about. First up, we have this Nero Claudius one. I love this outfit and pose, and I hope they include that like backing card in the figure. That would be amazing. And then we have, I'm not super familiar with this character, but it kind of looks like Thori Tamamo. I guess that's like the Assassin Tamamo, but I do really like her design and she looks very cute with the pink hair and the like black bodysuit. She's killing it. I think this one will look good. All right, next up, moving on to QuezQ. First up, we have this Ryza figure. We have so many Ryza figures and honestly, they're just getting more shameless and shameless. Like she's barely dressed. Once again, her thighs are on point though. But I think we have enough Ryza figures, guys. Like, calm down. Then we have this Shizuyama Mashiro figure from Blue Archive. I know nothing about Blue Archive, but some of their designs are super cute, and I think this is one of them. I really like her precious little black wings and her halo. So cute. Then we've got this 1/7 AK Alpha figure from Girls Frontline. I particularly like this figure because the illustration is by Neko, and I really like Neko's style and art style. So of course I really like this character's aesthetic and design. So definitely one I'm gonna keep my eye out for. Very excited about this next one. It is the 1/7 Shuten Doji caster version. We're seeing a sculpt. I think it looks really nice, but it's feeling very expensive, especially with the elaborate base and the size of that thing she's carrying. Very excited to see that one painted. Then we've got the 1/8 Altoria Lancer Alta from FGO. Didn't expect to like this one as much as I do. That horse, oh my god, it's like the coolest horse I have ever seen. I didn't expect to want to buy this, but that horse mane is beautiful. I think this is gonna look really cool painted. I can't wait, but I think my wallet can wait because it looks pricey. And now we have the new figures announced by QuezQ. First up, we have 416 Mod 3. I really like this Girls Frontline design. I don't really play Girls Frontline, but this is one of my favorite characters from it that I've seen. She's already had a few figures and I'm curious to see what they do. Then we've got DSR50, the full damage version. I think this one's gonna look pretty good. I really like DSR50's design as well. There are a lot of figures of her that are out now that I'm very tempted to pick up, honestly. Then we have a Shauna figure. I think this will be really cute. I don't know of any scales of Shauna that exist, and I think she's got a super cute character design, so yeah, I think this will be cute. All right, now we're moving into a little bit more risque territory. We have this female shinobi Mataro original illustration. Oh my god, it's a lot, but it's kind of iconic. Like, it's kind of beautiful. I love the like armor pieces and the gloves. Yeah, really excited to see a prototype of this, maybe in like 2 years. The other art I was obsessed with is this Devil Trainer by Tori Damono. I love this art so much. She is so cute. I love the top hat. I love the kind of steampunky Victorian aesthetic, and the fact that she's training little demons and devils is so cute. I really hope this comes out spectacular because this is one that I could see myself buying. Next up, if you're a fan of Raita's art style and body proportion style, then you're in luck because QuezQ are making the Kuramoto Erika and Suzuhara Misa made swimsuit style figures. I think the picture speaks for itself. It's your cup of tea, or it's not. And lastly, from QuezQ, I'm very excited about this Shonacon figure announcement. This character is illustrated by Mika Picazo, and it is also ridiculously cute and always has the best like streetwear-y outfits on. So I'm very, very happy they're making a figure of her. All right, thank you QuezQ. We'll now move into Katie Cole, or the Katakawa collection figures, as well as CA Works. I don't know if they're the same thing, but first up, we have a 1/7 hollow China dress version. This is cute because it's hollow and she's holding a plate full of apples, and that is so adorable, but I'm kinda over the China dress thing. So, oh, she's got little buns as well. Okay, it is very cute, but I'm like, it's just a China dress trend, so a little bit not as in love with it as maybe some other people are. Then I wanted to talk about this Asuna negligee version. Her face looks busted, right? Not just me, like why are her eyes so far apart? Yeah, one I'll be giving a miss for sure. Then we have the 1/7 Nero Silk of Venus version. I didn't know this was coming, and I love it. I love the kind of like Roman outfit and the goblet and the Roman aesthetic of everything. It's beautiful. There are a lot of good Nero figures kind of coming and out, and honestly not a character that I expected to want to buy so many figures of. It pays to be a Nero fan. Then we've got this 1/7 scale of Albedo Bride version, as well as Shaltia. I think this is really cute, the idea of combining both together, and it's a really unique kind of take on it, so I'm really interested to see this colored. Next up, we have the 1/7 Aqua and Megumin Race Queen versions, and I like these two a lot more than I thought I would, because the Konosuba anime art is maybe not the most pretty and beautiful aesthetic art I've seen, but the prototypes look way better than the source art in my opinion, and they just look better. So yeah, I'm really actually excited to see them colored. I wasn't planning on picking them up, but I do have a soft spot for racing figures, so we'll see. Next up, we have a powered bunny from Arms Note. I like bunnies, I like armored girls, keen to see this one painted. Now moving on to figure announcements from them. First up, we have a collaboration I didn't know I needed. Supersonico x Konosuba. What? This is so funny to me because it reminds me of that joke where it's like, no, f you, unlolly's your lolly. I love it. Next up, we have the Raphtalia red dress style version. I said earlier, I'm kind of sick of the China dress thing. This figure makes no sense to me. I don't remember it from the anime. Like, I don't understand why she's wearing a China dress and she's still fighting. Like, I don't think we need to combine China dress with absolutely every character. Next up, we have the Kanade or Tenchi wedding version from Angel Beats. I think this could look really beautiful and angelic, but it was just surprising that such an old anime would still get new figures. Then we've got a couple of new Mai Sakurajima announcements. I'm underwhelmed with both. Like, they're cute. Yeah, she's in a kimono, but I swear she's been in a China dress and she's been in everything. I think we have enough Mai figures. Like, we're approaching like REM rates of figure announcements. I think we're good. Then I wanted to talk about this Misaka Mikoto Gekoda version. It's so cute when I first looked at it, but then I'm like, oh, she doesn't have pants on, and it's like this weird kind of sexy thing, and why couldn't it have just been wholesome and cute, which is more the angle I would have wanted, you know? Next up, we have a 1/7 Chizuru party dress version. I think this is quite nice art actually, but I think it's gonna be hard to beat the Good Smile one of Chizuru, which looks popping, like it looks really good, so Last up, I wanted to touch on this Kanade 1/7 school swimsuit version from Angel Beats, and like knowing, like I don't want this for the character, you know? I didn't want it. Does anyone want it? I don't think so. Let's move on. All right, we're moving into sketchy territories. Union Creative. First up, we have the Ganbare Doki-chan trio of swimwear figures. Given how they massacred the non-swimwear versions, I'm not very hopeful about these, but they look meh, they look okay. Next up, I wanted to say how much I liked the Lala and Yui Nurse series. I realized I like nurse figures for some reason. I don't know, I like the syringe kind of aesthetic. The last prototype I wanted to shout out from Union Creative is this Ava 1 versus Ava 13, like diorama. I didn't know they made figures like this. I'm not gonna buy it, but still kind of cool. Then we're moving into a bunch of the OC designs. Union Creative does figures for a lot of original illustrations, but unfortunately, sometimes the quality can be a bit hit or miss. So let's take a look. First up, we have the Sailor-chan art. Art is really cute. I find the prototype a little lacking, a little less cute. Probably won't pick that up. Next up, we have the Guitar Mei by Hitomio. I think this is a very popular series of art, and I think the prototype looks alright, but I think I really need to see it painted to see if it gives off the same aesthetic that the art does. Then we have the Panda-chan China dress. I'm not as angry with this China dress because she is holding pandas. The art is really cute. The prototype looks a little awkward the way it's leaning forward like that. And then moving on to the next one, this is my favorite art that they've chosen. This is Tea-chan by Neko Jira. The art is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The prototype, I can't really tell from this picture, but I don't have, I'm gonna need to see it painted, all right? Stay on the fence on this one. And lastly, we have a Whitehead bunny art, pretty generic bunny girl, but I think the prototype for this actually looks pretty good. I think her hair sculpt is pretty impressive. And lastly, wrapping up with their new figure announcements, they're making this leopard print swimsuit girl. That's a lot. And they're also making this Iyashikike Shiro China One-san art. This art is spectacularly beautiful, but I feel like we're gonna lose a lot of the beauty when we translate it to PVC plastic, because really it's the background and the lighting and everything in the art that is spectacular. Today's video is sponsored by Bokksu. Bokksu sources authentic Japanese snacks, candies, and teas from different family businesses and packages them up in a neat little box like this, which they send to your door. Each month you'll get a different Bokksu with a different theme to send you on your own gourmet journey through Japan. Each box comes like this with beautiful snacks on the inside. I'm really excited about this box because it's the Bokksu birthday celebration box, and they put in some of their top rated snacks from all time in the box, so it's the best of the best. So I'm gonna try the chocolate banana langu de chat cookie, which won the Snack Madness competition, which means it's gotta be good. Ooh. So this has a rich banana sweet cream sandwich between two crispy chocolate biscuits. I can already smell the banana. Mmm, that is really nice. Chocolate and banana is such a good combo. Each Bokksu comes with this booklet which tells you all the details about all of the snacks, where they came from, any cultural significance, and it even has a section where it teaches you Japanese vocab. I really look forward to receiving my Bokksu every month because I always discover a snack that I didn't even know existed. You can use the code DAIJOBUBU to get $15 off of your very first Bokksu. Thanks again to Bokksu for sponsoring today's video. Alright, let's jump into the company that everyone loves to hate, Freeing. First up, we have the Shimakaze Waitress version from Azure Lane quarter scale. I think this is pretty cute. I'm not gonna buy this, but I bet it's gonna be expensive. And then we also have this quarter scale of Vittorio from Azure Lane. This one's a little awkward to me. I didn't like the last bunny that was lying down on the ground that I bought, and so I don't really like this one. I think the hair just looks a little awkward, looks like a carpet. Yeah, not my cup of tea. All right, I'm excited for this next part. Let's jump into Hobby Max. So first up, we have the Mari Radio Ava Part 2 scale figure, and I love her. I wasn't planning on buying Mari from this set, but she looks so nice, and I definitely like the colored version way more than the monochrome. Feeling like I'm gonna cop this one. Then we also have the Kaworu. I actually have the first part 1 pre-ordered, although they're taking ages to ship in, but I think I'm gonna stick with that one and not get this one, but I still quite like it. Like, I like all of the Radio Ava figures. And then we've also got this prototype of Shinji from part 2. I think Shinji looks amazing in this, and I love it, and he's my little boy, so I definitely think I'm gonna pick this up, but I cannot wait to see it colored. And lastly, the big news is that Radio Ava are going to be also making a third line of figures off of this art. Not my favorite lineup. I wish they would have picked like this one, but I do really like the Rei in it. And Asuka's my favorite character, but she's kind of hunched down, but I see she's got a cute bag on. I think that could be cute too. Also repping the Radio Ava shirt. Okay. All right, no one asked. Next up, jumping into Mimioi, we have two Azure Lane quarter scale ladies. They're looking big, busty, beautiful, confident, pretty much what they're advertising. Next, jumping into Lycon, there's only one figure I wanted to shout out, and it's this Chiyoko Idolmaster figure. I don't watch Idolmaster, but the Halloween-ness of this figure is so cute that I'm actually very tempted to pick it up, but we'll see how much it is. Next up, jumping into Stronger, I wanted to talk about this Uma Musume figure. It's so cute, and I haven't watched Uma Musume yet, but I really like Stronger and the quality is great. And like, for some reason, I kind of care about this figure and want to see how much it is. That's dumb. Next up, I have one figure from Kai Tendo that I wanted to bitch about. It's this quarter scale Toru swimsuit version. I fucking hate it. Well, I don't know why no one can just make a good Toru figure. Okay, moving on to Wings Inc. or Charm. Maybe they're the same manufacturer, I don't really know. There were a couple of figure announcements here that I'm really excited about. First up is the 1/7 scale Suyu. Art is by Suave. It looks amazing. Like, I love the aesthetic, the dragon tail, the armor, the tech wear. I love it all. This is almost a must buy if the quality is there. Then they also announced a Yuri and Stella White Tiger version, which is really interesting because it's just like a White Tiger version of an existing figure as well that I think Binding makes. I think the White Tiger version is definitely cuter, but I remember the price of the red one and it's gonna be pretty expensive. Next up, I wanted to talk about some really cool designs from Neon Max. So the first one is this dark nurse. I love it. I love the eagles. I love the nurseness. I love the freaking IB bag. I love it. I cannot wait to see this colored. They also had this Mi Yan girl who I liked less than the nurse. They also have this 1/6 Tana China dress version, which I was like not too impressed with, but then I saw that her buns are skull shaped and I thought that was adorable. They also announced some upcoming figures. First up is this 1/6 figure of Noah, art by Tori Damono. I love this design so much. I cannot wait to see a prototype of this. I feel like I would buy this. Like, I just really like this design. And another design I liked is this 1/7 Kosaka Wakamo figure from Blue Archive. This design is beautiful. You can actually take the mask off as well, and she's got just a cute face underneath, but I cannot wait to see this one in PVC 2D 3D form, in 3D form. I also quickly wanted to shout out this figure from Inbrina, the 1/5 Saki figure, of course, art based by Asanagi. Asanagi art is like, it's in an area of its own. Next up, jumping to wave figures, we have this prototype of the Shoko Komi figure. This looks really nice, a lot nicer than I was expecting. Her face is gonna be what makes or breaks it, and we're gonna have to see that painted. Then they announced a bunch of figure announcements. First up is the Supersonico Sexy Pastry Chef. This is actually pretty cute, and I'm sure that Supersonico fans are rejoicing. Then it looks like they're adding to their kind of ballerina Anmi art line with this Black Swan girl. Looks really cute. I feel like the figure will look cute too. Then they announced this 1/7 Atago school version figure. This just reminds me of how much I want the swimsuit Atago figure that I can't afford. All right, now let's jump into FNEX, which is Furyu's scale figure division. First up, we have this Rem in an aqua orb. Not loving this. I think the orb is a cool concept, but it kind of just looks boring and it takes up more space. Next up, we have this scale figure of the Hatsune Miku Galaxy Live. From this angle, the colors look really like random and not like good. So it kind of looks like a prize figure. I don't know, but not in love with that one, unfortunately. Then I love this 1/7 figure of Shigure Yui. I think is a VTuber. I don't actually know who it is, but I think this figure is really cute and I'm really in love with it for some reason. Lastly, we saw this prototype of the Hestia wedding dress version. I love the idea, but her proportions look a little weird. I know she's leaning forward, but she just looks super short. All right, jumping into the second company everyone loves to hate, Eastream. First up, we have these Ranka and Cheryl figures from Macross, which is something I'm not familiar with, but these sculpts are amazingly detailed and beautiful. This is like by far one of the favorite things I've seen Eastream put out recently. Then we get to see the Nanami 1/7 scale painted, and I don't know if it's because the flash is going off, but I really don't like it colored. I think it looks kind of cheap, and yeah, I'm not really in love with it. And unfortunately, the same goes for the Toge figure. Yeah, seeing it colored, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I don't know. It doesn't quite do it for me as maybe when I was picturing how it would look when I was looking at the prototypes. So I think I'm gonna pass on both of those. Then it looks like Eastream's getting into the quintessential quintuplets figures. We saw an announcement for Nakano and Yotsuba. I think we have enough quintessential quintuplet figures, and everyone who wants a set of the sisters has probably already got a set of the sisters. So I don't know, I just don't feel like anyone wants to buy these. Then onto a figure company I know nothing about, Parco 1/. They have this 1/7 scale figure of Plachta from Atelier Sophie. This sculpt is beautiful. That's why I wanted to show you. I think it's beautifully elegant. They also have a figure of Sophie herself, which is really cute. These figures are really cute. I had one figure from Wonderful Works to shout out, and it's this 1/7 figure of ZB26 beach version. This is one of the cuter beach figures I've seen in a while. I love the squid, the see-through bag, and the bottle of champagne. Then I also just have one figure from Wanderer to shout out. It's this 1/6 figure of Mogami Yoshiaki. I know nothing about where she's from. I just think the figure looks beautiful, and I love women with orbs. Just a girl and her orb hanging out, you know? Then we had an announcement from Revolve that they were going to do a Ayanami Rei, which I think is great because I've seen really good things about the Asuka. Still waiting to receive her, but if they make a Rei to match, I would be very tempted to pick it up. Then I have a couple of prototypes to shout out from Spirit Tail. The first one is this Black Rock Shooter Dawnfall figure. This figure's intense, and I'm surprised they would actually go with this design because it's kind of a lot, but it's really cool. Definitely won't pick it up, but I can appreciate how cool it is. Then we've got this king version of Miku. I think this sculpt is so cute and beautiful, and I could see myself buying it if the colors look good. It would be very expensive though. Jumping to S-Fire figures, they're giving us this Amelia, Rem, and Ram holding younger versions of themselves, which, did anyone ask for that? Well, if that's what you're looking for, you can get them, but it's not something I asked for. They also showed this prototype of this Toga figure, which I think is really cute because I'm not buying the Spirit Tail one that's like 300 bucks. So I'm hoping to buy a cheaper one, drape a chain over it, and feel the same. Okay, so that's all from Wonderfest. Now we're jumping into the announcements that were a part of the Ami Ami Hobby Camp 2022 summer event. Okay, let's jump into Annie Gift. First up, we have the Sword Maiden from Goblin Slayer. I love the Sword Maiden design, and I'm so glad someone's finally making a figure of her. They also announced this figure from Destiny Child, which I think is a Korean gacha game that I know nothing about, but this character design is so cute. I love it, so I probably really like the figure too. Next up, I have one figure from Amakuni to show you, and that is the Benny figure from FGO. I think it looks so cute. I love all of the birds and all the little details. I think it's just adorable. Next up, a couple of figures from Apec Toys. We have this silver figure from Grand Blue Fantasy. Don't know anything about Grand Blue Fantasy, but this figure is beautiful. It's so elegant, so dramatic. I love it. I also really like this Chen figure from Arknights by them. I love the background and the dragon in the back. I think it's beautiful, and you know, this is a time where I like seeing a China dress because it fits the theme. There's a point to it, you know? Next up, I have one figure to show you from B-Box. It is this cute as hell girl in a martini glass, and looking at the original illustration, the color of this is gonna look so good. All right, now moving on to Prisma Wing. They unveiled this quintessential quintuplet set, which once again, what I said earlier, like if you want the 5, you probably already have the 5. Is someone really gonna buy this? They also showed this Milim Honey version, which is so cute. There's so many cute details on it. I love it when figures use honey, I guess. And next up from Pony Cannon, a company I've literally never heard of, is this Noshiro figure from Azure Lane. And this was one of my favorite figures I saw through this whole week. I love it. It looks beautiful. I would probably buy this. I'm just very worried that I've never heard of this company and I don't know what their quality is going to be like, but it looks beautiful. All right, now we're moving into the Mega Hobby Expo 2022 figures. So this is the last of the bunch and we're starting big. We're starting with Ulta. They showed this 1/7 Schwartz figure from Arknights and I gasped when I first saw this. I actually thought it was just a picture of the art, but it isn't. It's a figure. It looks so amazingly detailed and beautiful and I really want it, but I can already see the price being absolutely ridiculous. So it's gonna be a hard one to justify, but I really like this figure. I just think it's so cool. Ulta also showed this Sakura Grail of Mikiri version. This looks really cool too. Can't wait to see this one colored, although I already have a pretty good figure of this exact like scenario, so. Then from Ulta's male figure division, Altair, I think it's how you say it, they showed off this Gilgamesh figure. It's a 1/8 and it is absolutely delicious. Oh my god, I'm gonna get it. I did see it went up for pre-order and it is pretty expensive, but he looks so good. I mean, it's gonna be really hard to say no. They also showed the Kana prototype and that looks so cool as well. They gave him a huge bulge, I'm just gonna say it, like we're all looking at it. But yeah, I'm really keen to see that one colored. It's gonna look amazing. All right, jumping to Mega House, only one figure I really liked and that was the Haru and Morgana from Persona 5. I don't have a Haru scale, it's just not my favorite character, but honestly Morgana at the bottom sold it for me and this is like, it's just a really cute figure. All right, jumping into the kind of not safe for work manufacturer section, we've got Alpha Max. They do make safe for work figures though. So we first up have this Miku Expo 2021 version of Miku. Miku, world is mine, more like I'm the world. But they also showed off this really cute prototype of this little imp girl. I think she looks adorable. I love all the drapey and flowiness. Jumping into Skytube, first up we have this one that's based off of a Saitom illustration. Really invested in this one. I think she's gonna look so cute and I love her boots. Then they showed us this wedding figure, lingerie figure. I think she looks quite cute, but again, waiting for the colors. And then lastly, the one I liked was this Little Red Riding Hood one. I really like Little Red Riding Hood themed figures for some reason. And I think this one's really sweet. Then we also have these prototypes of the D-Smile waitress ladies. Look, Skytube knows what they're doing. They look good. I just need to see them colored before I decide if I'm gonna pre-order or not. I hope I don't. My wallet can't take it. All right, those are all of the figures that I had flagged to talk about. By the way, I'm looking at ruruberries.com, which is an amazing resource for anime figure collectors. They do a great job of collating pictures from events and things, so I'll put that in the link. Highly recommend if you want to go through the entire event and look at all of the figures yourself. Honestly, so many good figures. If I had to like pick the ones I'm most excited about, I'm only gonna do non-announcements. It would be the Lancer, the Radio Ava Mari, the Radio Ava Shinji, the Nurse Girl with the Eagles, the Martini Glass Girl, the Noshiro, and the Yummy Yummy Gilgamesh. Oh! Anyway, if you got to the end, I do applaud you. That was a lot of figures and maybe shit takes to sit through, but thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what your favorite Wonderfest week announcement was, what you're most excited about. I'm really, really curious to know. But otherwise, that is all I had. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll catch you in the next one. A big, huge thank you to Rio, Zach, Leonidas, Honey, Mr. Dan, Sarah, Neon Yan, Furkan, Retro Richie, Sleepy Quinny, Rurika, Eduardo, Tattletale, as well as all these wonderful names on the screen.